Oh, hey there! I'm just, panning for gold out on the California frontier. I've been out here for days and it's really tiring and really hot, but oh my goodness! Oh, wait. Oh, look what I found! Gold! I gotta keep going, that's not gonna pay the bills. Oh, wow! Look at that, that's gotta be like 50 carats or something like that. Oh man. No luck. Gotta pour some out. What is that? Oh my goodness! It's chapstick! I've been needing some of this. Mmm. Oh, that'll really help with the sun. Dr. Pepper? What's Dr. Pepper? Oh, hey there. Hold on, let me turn off this music for a sec. All right. Well, I'm back from the mining fields. Got my first piece of gold. Look at that. It even has a sun engraved in that. And this was that 24 karat piece I was talking about. And the greatest find of the day. That Dr. Pepper chapstick. Still don't know what Dr. Pepper is, but I don't know. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that little intro. Not quite historically accurate, but I did my best. So today I'm not going to take up a lot of your time because your work today is to continue with your drafting. I'm hearing people saying, I need more time drafting, so I am going to give it to you. So the other thing that I was going to bring up today, if you are caught up on your drafting, is we know that as writers, how important it is to kind of stop and pause and reflect throughout the writing process and see like, hey, what am I really doing well? What do I need to work on? And what are my goals as I continue to do this? So, and in this next screen here, I'm going to be sharing a self-assessment tool. And this should be very familiar to you guys as you've most likely completed quite a few of them in your time at CWC and hopefully a couple times throughout this year in 4th grade. So I'm going to quickly explain that. And this is like an optional piece of the work today that I mainly want you to focus on getting some more drafting done for your different sections of your book if you need to. All right, so now on my screen, I have shared our information writing checklist, and this should look pretty familiar to you. The last time you probably looked at one of these was probably during our realistic fiction unit. So as you can see, it is grade 4 over here. So these are kind of the basic expectations of a 4th grade writer in this unit. And I know that everyone has different strengths, and some are you are really, really strong writers. So if you feel like some of these don't apply to you, you could look at the grade 5 expectations. And a lot of how these checklists work, it's a lot of the things that are in the 5th grade checklist are what was in the 4th grade checklist, but with a little bit more, if that makes sense. So we know that it's organized by the grades over here, and then on the side is kind of breaks up the different parts of your writing piece. So we have overall, so that means like the whole thing in its whole entirety together. Then we have the lead, which is just another word for introduction. We have transitions, so like transitional phrases, so examples like before, later, next, then, after. Our ending, which is another word for our conclusion. Our organization, so this is really like how did you organize your information? Did you use paragraphs? Did you use subheadings and other topics? Then on the second page, we have elaboration. And I know there's a lot of different points under elaboration. And I would say that this is the area that I would say that most 4th graders need help with. Like that is what I, as a teacher, spend most of my time coaching students is helping them elaborate. So if you don't have a lot of elaboration in your drafts right now, that's totally fine. I don't want you to worry about it because then the work that is coming up next week and the week after, that'll really focus on like how do we elaborate, how do I say more with the information that I have. So as you're doing this self-assessment, don't worry too much about this area. And then last, we kind of have the craft, which focuses on like do you have like specific word choices that are really engaging to your reader? Did you make some interesting comparisons? Did you use figurative language? And what else? Did you use a teaching tone? Okay, so you've practiced teaching this week, so hopefully we can learn about ways how we can bring that out in our writing. And then lastly, we look at spelling and punctuation. So with all of these areas, there's 3 different options for a checkbox. There's the not yet, the starting to, and yes. So this is the work I want you to do today if you've already had a chance to do all of your first drafts for your different chapters. So hopefully you should have at least 4 chapters. If you want to do more, feel free to do that. So if you do have time or you're wanting a break from drafting and you kind of want to say, hey, like I want to pause and think like, how am I doing so far? Then you're going to read each of these little blurbs and then you're going to check not yet, starting to, or yes. So let me kind of model like a think aloud of how that might go. Okay, let's see. Let's do an easy one up here at the top. Okay, so my lead. It says, I hooked my readers by explaining why the subject mattered, telling a surprising fact, or giving a big picture. I let readers know that I would teach them different things about a subject. Okay, so if I had something along the lines, let me kind of pull out my notes from before. I don't have a draft for my first section because the draft that I modeled yesterday was about my people. So let's say I give like a really, I just kind of wrote like basically what I have here is my notes. It just says, first gold was not found during the gold rush. It was founded by Mexicans in 1830s. Let's just say that's all I had. I would probably put not yet because that's not really a strong lead. That didn't really hook my readers and there wasn't a lot of information. If I have a little like parts of that, like let's say I did include a surprising fact about like, oh, did you know that actually not that many people made a lot of money during the gold rush? That might be a surprising fact, especially for people who don't know a lot about the gold rush. So if I had a surprising fact and then I included some of my notes in sentence form, I might be starting to. Like I've got part of it, but not really the whole picture. Now, if you read this, you're like, oh, yeah, I explained why this subject matters. I told a surprising fact. I gave like a big picture, be like, I gave an overall, like, this is what it's all about. Then I would say, yes, I got this down. So again, as I said, don't worry too much about elaboration. Especially since it's the first draft, I wouldn't really focus too much on the craft, spelling, and punctuation. You could just to kind of see like, how am I doing as a writer? Am I really thinking about the words that I'm spelling? Am I thinking about punctuation even as I'm drafting? If that seems too overwhelming for you today, then really just focus on this first page. Do you have overall, how's your story looking? I like to save this one for last because once I look at, okay, do I have a lot of not yet? Do I have a lot of starting tos for these other areas? That gives me a better idea of how I'm doing overall, but it's up to you. So just look at your lead. How does the first part of your story look? Do you have good transitions? Like, do you have phrases that connect your different paragraphs of information? And then your ending. Are you writing a sentence that like kind of wraps up your different areas of your topic? And then are you writing in paragraphs? Are you keeping it organized with different subtitles and subtopics? So I hope that was pretty explanatory. We'll be available to answer questions if you have that. Again, I want to reiterate today, I really just want to give you more time to work on drafts of your different subsections. But if you could do the self-assessment if you have some more time. All right, get mining.